Miss Medediak has not seen her in over a month and a half.
Tuesday, August 27, 2024 at 8:50 a.m. Mark Medediak versus Mark Medediak. Attorney Matthew Hauser for the plaintiff. The defendant is not here.
This matter is set before the court today on obviously on a show cause from the referee, as the defendant in this matter has failed to produce the child for purposes of the interview as it relates to the pending custody proceedings with the referee. Was originally set for July 10, 2024, adjourned to August 5th, 2024, and then renoticed for today's date. The court will note for the record that staff has been in phone contact with the defendant and informed him that he had to have the child. He or someone else had to have the child in court today to be interviewed by the referee. We have in fact been in touch with the referee to set that up so that he could interview the minor child in this matter. Mr. Medediak stated he was not going to be present because apparently he recognizes he has an outstanding warrant, and as a result he wasn't going to be here. We just stated the purpose is to have the child interviewed, so we did not care at that point who brought the child, as long as the child was produced. And it is now what is it now, 8:51 a.m. The matter was set for 8:30. He has still not appeared and has not produced the child for the interview. So, Mr. Hauser, what is your preference of how we proceed?
Well, I mean, Your Honor, the first concern, as has been expressed to the court, is the safety and well-being of the two children. As relates to the party's minor daughter, Miss Medediak has not seen her in over a month and a half. She was able to see the minor son, Mark Jr., 2 weeks ago when there was a camping trip that was allowed by a dad. Since then, there has been some phone contact. As relates to the minor daughter, Aubrey, Miss Medediak has been informed by the school that she has missed 2 days so far of their new school year. As of today, they've only been in school for 7 days. I guess the request at this time is that a order would end, or I guess I'm phrase that. It was my understanding that the referee could not produce a recommendation off of the evidentiary hearing that we had back in June until the interviews were conducted. The interviews have not occurred as the defendant has failed to produce the children for those interviews twice. When we were actually back before this court on a separate show cause hearing a few weeks back, this court informed Mr. Medediak at that time of those interviews. He continues to dodge and fail to appear. There is continued concern. So we would ask for at least a temporary change in the current order that's being contested from Grand Traverse County to allow the children to return to the care and custody of the plaintiff until we can get the children in for the interview. Ms. Medediak is certainly ready to produce the children for the interview. And at this time is the only party who has consistently appeared before the court and has complied with all of the orders of the court. Besides that, due to Mr. Medediak's failure to appear, we would ask for a bench warrant to enter against him, and if the court would be so inclined to have him picked up, brought to court to explain why he has yet again failed to appear for these proceedings.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, as much as I would like to grant your first request for relief, Mr. Hauser, as the appellate courts have repeatedly stated that the court cannot change custody without an evidentiary hearing, which is what we're going through with the referee. And but the court will in this matter, based upon the history, based upon what's happened, and the admonition to the defendant repeatedly in court proceedings and through staff that he had to produce the children, the court will enter a bench warrant for his arrest as a result of his failure to produce the children for purposes of the interviews. in view of, again, in view of his repeated lack of compliance with orders and the admonitions to produce the children, the court is going to would set that bond in the amount of 0, as the court will not set a bond amount, which would allow him to bond himself out until such time as there is a court hearing in this particular matter. So the court will again enter a bench warrant. I asked Mr. Hauser that you prepare the bench warrant, set it as a 0 bond amount. And then once we get that, we will again handle that and process that through the sheriff's department and attempt to get them out to again to pick up Mr. Medediak to bring him into court on this one and on the other bench warrant that he has. And then at this point, we'll just proceed. We do have on September 12, 2024, 8:30, our other show cause hearings as it relates to his failing to comply with the orders. So anything else, Mr. Hauser?
I guess just, well, first off, Your Honor, yes, I will, we'll certainly get that bench warrant prepared and sent over to the court. Right now, as the order currently stands, the parties do have joint legal custody. In the event Mr. Medediak is picked up on a bench warrant, as right now, Ms. Medediak only has the supervised parenting time. Is there any ability to include provisions that if he is picked up, the children should be returned to her pending any future court?
I cannot do that prospectively.
Okay, because we end up with a situation of I don't know where the kids are going to be if he is picked up, you know.
And I don't know either, and they just can't do it prospectively if that changes. And if the children were to be in a position where they were without proper care or supervision, then the court could enter an order at that time.
Okay. Thank you. And I get in the second point, as it relates to our show cause on the 12th, as it is currently set via Zoom, we would request that be amended to be an in-person show cause.
Well, let me tell you, I am going to be out of state at that date, so I'm not going to be able to handle it in person. But hopefully we'll be able to get Mr. Medediak picked up, and we'll be able to process it that way. And obviously, if he's picked up, court will probably have him retained until such time after the hearing, so he will be in custody.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Thank you very much, John.
The sooner you get that in, the sooner we can get it processed and go. So.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
I'll work on that now.
Thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Summer Medediak versus Mark Medediak. Today is Monday, June 17th, 2024 at 10:03 a.m.
Court will note the appearance of Mr. Hauser on behalf of the plaintiff, defendant appearing in pro per in this matter. Mr. Medediak, are you disputing the denial of parenting time pursuant to the show cause motion?
Yes.
Okay. If so, then what the court will do is the court will have to have an evidentiary hearing on the denial of parenting time. As it's stated in the ex parte order, court will not change custody without an evidentiary hearing. So an evidentiary hearing would be necessary to do that. And that's by case law from the Court of Appeals Supreme Court repeatedly telling trial courts they can't change custody without an evidentiary hearing. The court would, however, as I did under the ex parte, would order that the defendant would not remove the children from the state of Michigan without court approval in this particular matter. And
correct.
With that, I think that takes care of everything until we can get in and have a evidentiary hearing. Well, in both of these matters, I guess. Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I'm going to be turning myself in the morning. I have to go serve 5 months in jail.
Oh.
So I don't know how you would like to go about that.
Well, if you're not available, is there any problem with then placing the children with the plaintiff in the interim?
No, Your Honor. She's been charged with 2 counts of 4th-degree child abuse. She is not allowed any no overnight parenting time, nothing.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to have to deal with that all at some later point. But if you're gonna be in for about 5 months, we won't be able to have a hearing within that particular time, so. But
Unfortunately, yes, Your Honor.
well, we can always have a hearing because they can present you and we can do that during Zoom, so. We'll set up a hearing and then have everyone present at that time. Mr. Medediak, you're gonna have to make sure that you can. If there's anybody you want to testify or anything of that nature, you're gonna have to make sure that you can get the subpoenas out, and that will all be by Zoom, okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Okay.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Your Honor, is the evidentiary hearing that was just mentioned as it relates to the show cause going to be separate than the friend of the court evidentiary hearing currently set for June 25th?
Oh, what's the June 25th date?
That was in relation to the continuation of the friend of the court hearing that we began up in Grand Traverse County that was objecting to the custody order that was put in place back in December. Before the case was transferred over to Calhoun.
Okay. Well, we'll have that matter. The show cause will come up at the same time. Recognize, Mr. Medediak, what county are you in that's going to happen, that you're going to go to jail?
Otsego County.
Okay. We just want to know so we'd be able to make contact with you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. You're free to go. Have a good day.